Hello and welcome back to another episode of the MindSets podcast. I'm obviously joined by Charles. How are we today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not great. I'm jacked up. I'm absolutely jacked up. My back is fucked top and bottom. I don't know what it is. I realized the other day because I got up in the morning and I was bending over doing something and I put my left hand on my knee and I was stood there for ages and I was like,
I'm an old man.
I'm 28. What the fuck is going on?
Shame.
So, in natural response, I decided to ignore that for a little bit longer and bought pre-workout to make my workouts more motivated rather than actually just fix my body and be able to move.
Sounds about right.
So I'm so excited to do that. But yeah, I probably will get it looked at because I fucking hate this. But on a more positive note, more positive things are happening in the sporting world.
Lots of positive things.
Yeah, go ahead. You've got a stack of things.
I do have a stack of things. The women's rugby to start with.
Yeah?
England's Red Roses made the final. That's this Saturday. They played France. They've basically been dominating all of their games and they've got so many unreal players. So what could possibly happen? Women won the Euros and now the England ladies could win the World Cup.
Well, the England Lionesses won the World Cup as well previously.
Was that the World Cup?
No. That was the Euros.
Yeah.
We won the World Cup as well 2 years ago.
Mate,
So
they're all going back to back.
at what point do we just cancel funding for the men's teams?
Mate,
Imagine how good we'd be if they had the funding of the men's teams.
mate, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then, so if you're interested in that and you want to go see it live, if you're based around London, it's Twickenham,
Twickenham, yeah.
27th. Head over there, go do some shouting, go watch some winning.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't realize that Canada were any good at rugby because they're the other team in the final.
Do you know what? It's interesting because a lot of people give Americans slack for wanting to play rugby.
Yeah.
I was at Loughborough, as you know, and Penn State came over on rugby tour, women's rugby, and absolutely slapped the shit out of Loughborough women's rugby.
Wow.
Like embarrassingly so.
Interesting, isn't it?
So yeah, they're actually not bad over there. It's the contact sport still there, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on? I sent you a reel. There's a guy whose name I have forgotten.
Perfect.
German bloke who took on his first ever high rocks. What was really interesting about it is he's a professional runner. So he runs 5K in 13 minutes, 31 seconds, which is pretty much the exact same as the women's world record.
Yeah.
But it's like 40 seconds off the men's world record.
Yeah, it's elite level.
So yeah, really elite level. He's actually hoping this season to break into the elite 5K runners worldwide. So he decided to take it on as a bit of an off-season challenge. The thing is that was interesting is obviously he's going to nail the runs. The stations is going to be a problem. So I had a look at his splits. Any idea what you reckon he was running his 1Ks around?
It's unfair because I know his overall time, so I can probably make an estimated guess. I reckon he was running high 330s.
Cool. So we'll go through this the same way for everyone else. So everyone else needs to know. I thought he'd still go sub-hour because I knew his running would probably still be so fast. Again, to run like a 13:31 5K, you're running like 2 minutes 30 something, 2 minutes 40 something per kilometer, which is just mental. So I thought if his runs are even remotely close to that, then he'll have so much time to do stations. He doesn't
matter if he's bad.
He'll still go sub-hour.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting. What actually happened, he did an hour and 14 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was a big difference. And I was like, oh, maybe he got by the compromised running. He did, but not by anyone else's standards.
Oh, right.
He averaged 310.
Oh, my God.
His fastest run was 301. And his slowest run was a 317.
Was the 301 his first run?
No, it wasn't. I think because this was Maastricht, I think all of the runs were pretty much the same.
Okay.
So yeah, he 317 was the slowest run, and that was after the burpees. The problem was the burpees took 7 minutes.
Perfect.
And then the wobbles, I think he took like 9 minutes.
My guy.
Yeah.
My guy.
So yeah,
do you know what? I'm
relieved.
I'm pleasantly surprised actually because it's the way that the sport's trending is trending towards runners. And it's just a runner sport. So who can run the fastest? Because the sleds aren't now heavy enough to really affect any of the fast boys or fast girls. So there needs to be some sort of, I don't know, change in weights or additional weights on the sled to make it even harder for the runners to be good at it. And I don't know if the new carpet's going to make the sleds more slick, and as a result it's even better for runners. So it's kind of still pleasantly surprising that someone of that elite ability of running can still be tripped up by
I do think though
He needs more training.
I was going to say, give him 12 weeks and some proper coaching.
Yeah. Because I did see a couple of videos of how he moves, and it's not particularly efficient on any of the stations. So if you can shore that up a little bit, then
and again with like the whole thing of racing strategy and pacing and understanding when to rest, when not to rest, and this sort of thing. Like,
and that was his first race,
literally. Yeah. So it's still actually quite impressive. Obviously, the running was insanely impressive. But I would be interested for him to do more. He probably won't though, because he actually has a chance of being one of the world's best ever 5K time. So he probably isn't going to turn his head around at Hyrox just yet. But yeah, interesting experiment. Yeah. What else?
I've got more things. I've actually just remembered. Do you see that Fred Curley has said he's going to do the enhanced games?
Yeah.
I sent that to you, didn't I?
Yeah. And my response to you was a little bit interesting. I said, I don't think it's going to change much. And what I meant was he is actually under review at the moment.
Yeah.
For taking performance and
so then drugs anyway. Well, I might as well.
I might as well get paid for it if I'm gonna do it.
But it is interesting to see that more and more like top level athletes, people like household names in the world of sprinting, are going to start moving across to the enhanced games.
It's going to become the retired league.
I think so, yeah.
Because they're going to be faster than the unretired.
There was a British swimmer as well, I think, announced that he was going to go and do that. I can't remember his name. But staying on the topic of athletics, it's been the world champs over the last couple of weeks, which has been all-consuming for me. The big ones, if you haven't watched any of the world champs, I'd go back and rewatch the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase final, which sounds really niche, but it was like one of the most exciting races I've ever seen, and everyone fell over and everyone fell in the water, and it was really good to watch, really fast time. The other one, Keely Hodgkinson ran in the 800 meter final. I won't do any spoiler alerts. What I will say is that was one of the most stressful races I've ever watched. Like for sitting in front of the TV for just 2 minutes, it was stressful. Because obviously I think she's been in now 4 consecutive major finals through Europeans, Worlds, Olympics, that kind of thing. So she's had a really good run of it. She's obviously reigning Olympic champion. She was going in hot favorite. They went out so hard. Like the commentators were like, this seems a little bit suicidal. They ran through, and this might not mean anything for people who don't know much about track running, but they ran through 226 seconds. They ran through 400 in like 54 seconds, which I think would have qualified some of the girls for the 400s final, or at least like the semis. And then they're getting round to about maybe 200, 250 to go. Keely's still on the front. And I think in her head, she's gone, this is fast. I need to kick now. Otherwise, I'm going to get left in the dust. So she kicked with 250 to go. And then you just see her down the home straight and the wheels just start falling off. She managed to potentially not die, but we don't know what happened after that. I'm not going to tell you what happened there. The other really exciting one, and this will be the last thing I talk about athletics, was the men's 1500 meter final. So you had 3 Brits going in it. You had Neil Gawley, you had Jake Whiteman, you had Josh Kerr. Josh Kerr, reigning world champion. Jake Whiteman won the world championships in Oregon, I think in 2022, I think. Then we were kind of denied the opportunity to watch Jake and Josh run head to head when Josh won in Budapest because Jake had been plagued with injury. So this was like the big one where Josh and Jake could go head to head and we could see who was the fastest Brit. I think Neil Gawley won the British champ, so they were all in like flying form. Jakob Ingebrigtsen hadn't made it through the heats. The reigning world champion, Olympic champion Cole Hocker, he had been disqualified in the heats for pushing. And then their favourite was Niels Laros, who's this Dutch kid who's rapid, amazing. They all went out so hard as well. Josh Kerr got boxed in, and then you just go and watch it. It was a really good final to watch.
Do you know what? I think this is the really annoying thing from my perspective. I used to absolutely love watching the athletics world champs, and especially like the Olympics on live TV. As I've grown up, because of the whole TV license thing, you need a TV license to watch anything live, whether that's YouTube even. I've just like
it's become
not
more
watched it.
Difficult, yeah.
Because I'm obviously a legal abiding citizen that never would ever stream anything illegally.
Yeah.
But just like it's not as convenient as just switching on the TV and having it. And I hate that because I used to camp out in front of the TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll refrain to say that this was all on the BBC.
This is on the BBC with a paid for TV license. Yeah, of course.
The main problem I had this year was because it was in Japan, it was in Tokyo. Just the timings are a bit weird. So if you're at work, you can't watch it through the middle of the day. Luckily, I don't have a job, so I can.
We're professional comment readers, they're professional podcasters.
So we can just sit in front of the TV all day and watch the world champs, it was really, really good.
Yeah, I think it's a bit sad actually now because technically we're in autumn.
I know.
So
was that Monday?
Sport, yeah,
the first day of autumn.
The summer of sport has technically come to an
end.
I know. But in more positive news, what does that mean? That means that we're getting closer and closer to the 12th of October. 12th of October. What a segue that was.
You've caught me off guard.
So, yeah, I knew you weren't ready for that. So 12th of October is the ROXD sim, High Rock Sim. So for those of you that maybe didn't listen a few episodes back, we hosted a High Rock Sim down at Unit 9 Elms. Deeply successful.
Yeah, it was really good.
Kind of annoyingly so, nothing went wrong.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So we're doing it again by popular demand. And it's on the 12th of October. If you're interested, then do you know what? There'll be a link in the description.
Yeah.
Go ahead, get your tickets. You can do it doubles, solos, you can do pro, open, whichever you prefer. If you've never done a High Rocks race and you kind of want to see what it feels like, this is exactly a High Rocks race. We can safely say that the people that were competing last time some went faster than their previous times, some went slower than their previous times. So we know we are
super accurate.
Like it is completely replicable. And we will boast about the fact that we have all of the stations. So we have real sleds.
We do. Push ample.
And yeah, so you will come away from that knowing exactly where you're at and you will be able to enjoy it as much as you enjoy High Rocks. And we're going to have good vibes and we'll both be there. And
tickets are already live.
So do go through because with the way that we run it, we don't have like a group system where we send 20 of you off at a time. You go off one at a time or one pair at a time. So tickets will go and those slots will fill up. So I wouldn't be slow in making a decision. Get one, find a friend, do it with them, do it on your own, whichever. And we will see you there. Now, on the point of that, the reason for doing this in the first place, go ahead. This is your favorite thing.
Well, I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing, but it's definitely up there. Benchmarking and testing your fitness to give you a little bit more data to help kind of guide your training and help you improve and make your training a little bit more efficient. And that's the reason why you do a simulation / you just want to have a good time and have fun. That's allowed too. But using the simulation and the results that you get from it and the data you can take from it to figure out how you might guide your training over the next X amount of weeks. The beauty with the one that we're doing on the 12th, I think it was, I can't remember what I said yesterday, but it was enough amount of weeks away from London High Rocks.
I think it was 7 weeks.
7 weeks, I think you're right, yeah, or 6 or 7 weekends before London High Rocks. So if you're racing in London, or that's the race you've got your eye on, there's definitely enough time off the back of that sim to make some tangible changes to make sure that when you get to the start line in London, you've done everything you can to put yourself in the best position for getting the best time possible.
And one of the things we talk about a lot actually is race experience.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that you can get from some other simulations that I've done is you can learn that you pace yourself wrong, but not necessarily if it's not the exact same as a High Rocks in the context of, well, I've paced my lunges wrong, which has ruined my wall balls.
Yeah.
Because in some simulations, they don't do them quite the same way. And it might be a static sort of lunge rather than a walking one, which uses a bit more balance.
Or you might not get all of the run between the
exactly that. And so you're not really seeing the same level of fatigue. Where
I think that like the main one definitely is the really specific fatigue that you feel off the back of the sled, whether that's push or pull. That if you're not actually incorporating that into your training, or you're not having the opportunity to see what that's like at race intensity, on the day that will slap you in the face, especially if it's your first time racing.
Realistically, even for people that have raced quite a lot, the danger area is the sleds.
For sure.
You can you just ruin your race.
That's the hardest part of the race.
If you know you have done the sleds to your correct pacing, and the rest of the race is kind of the game. Like you can start playing. Ollie Russell, who's now an Elite 15 doubles pair with Charlie Bottrell, he says that the race for him starts from the rowing machine.
Yeah.
He steadies himself through, and then the rowing machine is where he settles himself, and then the back end is where he starts racing and pushing himself. The first bit, and you can actually look at his races, the splits are so consistent for the first part up to the rowing machine, and then the difference comes after based on how fatigued he's been. So yeah, it's a good way of figuring that out and actually being able to push these sleds, feel that resistance and fatigue, and learn how to pace that a bit better is massive. But one of the things that's interesting about benchmarking is, I mean, I have not been quiet about the fact that I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I want to know from your perspective what you think are the best ones to be doing, but also I want to know from your perspective as an athlete, what do you think is worse?
Oh, here we go.
A 1 mile test run,
Yeah.
a 5K run,
Yeah.
a 5K ski, or a 2K row?
These are getting weirdly specific. Do you know what they're... And
or an FTP on a C2 bike.
Okay. There's lots of options there. There's lots to depick. The thing I like that you say is that you actually actively dislike testing. And the reason why you dislike testing is because it's painful and it's difficult and you have to push yourself really hard.
My other like tag on top of that is that I don't feel like I can train. Like, it fatigues me so much that then I don't feel like I can just get back into training.
So that's interesting. And that's why you have to be tactical with when you are doing your benchmarking and when you're doing your testing. If you're doing a sim the weekend before you're racing your high rocks, obviously that's an incorrect time to do it because you won't have enough time to recover. That's why you want to do your testing at the beginning of your block.
Yeah.
So say you've got 12 weeks, that's when you benchmark, and then you do 8 to 12 weeks of training typically before you retest. Now, in the context of high rocks, if you do your benchmark as your simulation, and then you get all of the data from that, you probably don't need to then retest until you get to the day of your race. When we're talking about all of these test metrics that you've just given me, let's say that's out of context of high rocks, that's just in your general training. That might be off-season training. That could be in your accumulation phase or your intensification phase in your training block. That will actually be retested because otherwise you won't see if you've made any tangible progress. But let's break those down. I can't even remember the list of things you said.
If we talk about, you could choose one between these two, but for the running, it was a 5K run test or a 1 mile run test.
It's so hard to compare the two because the intensity is always relative. So if you do them to your best, your ability, when you get to the end, you're still going to feel as horrible as probably you would either one of them. So if you flat out mile or flat out 5K, you get to the end. Obviously, those flat outs are relative. You get to the end and you still feel absolutely smashed. Just because the 5K is going to be a lot longer than doing your 1 mile, a couple of minutes versus like tens of minutes, I would say that you're having to withstand the discomfort for longer in the 5K. But because of the adaptation and the intensity in the 1 mile, that sensation during it is probably more painful, but I only have to withstand it for...
Because I'd say the first 2K of a 5K, you're kind of okay.
Yeah. It's that middle, and then the last
middle,
K, because you know you're at the end, even though it's painful, you can deal with it, but it's like the 3.5 to 4.5.
So is that actually pretty much still like a mile, but it hurts?
Yeah, so that's I'm tending towards saying that the mile is probably more painful.
Okay, I think probably the same, because I think the speed at which you would go off, a bit like you were saying about Keely when she was in the 800, like it's going to take you 400 meters, if that, to realize, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got this. And with a 5K, you typically don't go off at a speed where you then immediately start questioning if you've got this or not. Also, you might be like, oh, it's hard.
Having a background in speed running, like 400 meters, the pain you get doing those sorts of efforts is just like unlike anything else. And more recently, I've done longer running 5Ks. And I've tested those recently, and yes, it's horrible when you're doing it, but I never get to the end and like holding my head because my head is throbbing, and you get that really sick sense. You might feel a little bit sick, but after 400 meter training or probably a mile effort, lying on the floor, feet in the air, and that feeling of the lactic and there's no position that you can lie in that makes you feel better. And you roll onto your back and it's still as bad, and you roll onto your side and it's getting worse, and then you go on all fours and it's even worse, and you try and stand up and it just progressively gets worse, and then it like compoundingly gets worse over the next like 10-15 minutes of you trying to recover. You don't really get that off the back of a 5K just because the intensity is so high. So between those two, I'd say 1 mile. It'd be really interesting to know what people think, and also like
this is the sort of thing to put in the comments.
And like the running community, who has way more experience in those testings than I do.
But then if we look then at some of the other disciplines that we mentioned, the notorious 2K row, 5K ski, and FTP on a bike. So again, we spoke about it in the episode with Roscoe, but an FTP on a bike is your
functional threshold power. I've
I
got
was
you.
waiting for you to
I've
dive
got
in with
you,
that.
yeah.
I knew it was threshold power, but I forgot the functional bit. You do 20 minutes, pretty much the max effort in terms of watts on a bike, and then your average is your FTP score, and then you can use that for training. So, yeah, I mean, if we quickly drop in again, those guys on the Tour de France, there's like a power to weight ratio.
Yeah.
Weight in kilos, power in watts. The guys on Tour de France can hold 6 to 7 times their body weight in watts, which is actually mental. And the thing is as well, is like, I immediately was like, wow, they're holding 700 watts. No, they don't weigh 100 kilos.
No.
So it's actually kind of more absurd when you start thinking about it. These guys weigh 65, 70 kilos, some of them.
Yeah.
And they're putting down 400 plus watts is nuts.
Yeah. I think like you say, the guys on the tour have that weight to watt ratio, only a handful of like 6 or 7. I think like Lance Armstrong in his peak, when he was on as much gear as you can think of, he was like pushing close to 7 watts per kilo.
Yeah.
And I think Tadej Pogacar now is on similar numbers.
Let's save that what you will.
Yeah. But like only a very handful of them are riding at on those kind of numbers. The thing I'd say with, because again, the stimulus and the sensations that you feel across all of the different machines and when you're running are very, very different and very specific to that machine. And the thing I'd say about doing a test on a bike, yes, an FTP is a really, really savage test, but the savagery is like the legs burning, and then obviously you get a little bit of lungs. When you're on the ski and the row, it's like all encompassing, like everything in your whole body. Same with running, really. And I think running probably jacks your heart rate up the most out of all of them. But on the bike, you have the ability to actually just like settle in and just start to process the pain a little bit better, because your upper body is doing nothing. I think you get that like calmness in the upper body, which mentally helps you, I don't know, endure the pain a little bit more. And in the duration of like the 20 minutes, yeah, your legs do start to burn, but it's not like you're doing max out sprints on the Echo bike, which is again a whole another conversation. So I don't want to say that the FTP is an easier test, because it's not. They're all probably equally as difficult if you're putting 100% effort into it. But I'd much prefer to do an FTP than a 2K row. And I'd probably put 2K row at the top, because that's just something that, like, even now thinking about it makes me feel a bit nervous.
I think because I've obviously done 5K ski with you, which is something I'll talk about with like the process of benchmarking to improving that and how to train. But I have done the 2K row. I'm trying to think if I've done it twice. I've definitely done it once, because I remember being on that particular floor in Pure Gym in Epsom. Everyone wanted,
and then you bottled it for the retest. Didn't want to do it again. You might have done it twice if you did it.
I feel like I have to have done it twice. And I think I did improve. I've got in my head that I did, the first time I did 6:31, and then the next time I did it, I was like 6:27, which wasn't that much.
Yeah,
but of an improvement. And then I'm now thinking I don't really vividly remember. The retest, but like who would want to do it anyway? Because it's grim. But I also find the 2K row test so funny, because how quickly you can bin yourself to the point where you can't, like you said, you can't stand, no position makes it better, and like your whole body just goes into shutdown mode. And I could feel it 2 days later.
Yeah, the thing that like gets me overwhelming more than everything is just like the lactic in my forearms and my grip. It's just like so painful to keep holding onto the handle. Like nothing else is bad apart from that. So just like having to deal with the lactic in your forearms, your grip hurting, your lungs just shouting at you, the heart like right up in your chest. And I think the last time I did a 2K block, I did it on the ski erg. And when I retested, that was the highest I've ever seen my heart rate. And I've got my chest strap connected to the PM5, and I'm seeing the heart rate go from like high 180s, which I've seen that frequently in my training, and then it keeps going, and usually it stops around the high 180s, and then I like give up because it's too painful. And then it just kept creeping up. I saw like 190, and I'm like, here we go, to the point where I wanted to stop, but because there were people in the gym around the ski erg screaming at me, I was like, okay, I can't stop now. Then it was 191. We're getting to like the last 200 meters, 192. We're creeping up to 193. I'm like, I'm probably gonna die. Like this is legit where I die. And like that's just pain that and then that was actually the start of the block. That was my benchmarking for it. And my goal was to go sub 7, and it was 7:00.1. So I was just like, and I just, that was the most I'd pushed myself in probably ever on the ski erg. And to the point where I was like, there's no point in me doing this block because I am not retesting. I just like, I will never do a 2K test again.
You're not supposed to sandbag either. So like, you can't really, you kind of have to fuck yourself and then admit that you're going to do it again. That's hard. And that's mentally why I hate testing.
That's why now it's so difficult. And there's so much like prestige around 2K testing in like the world of rowing, because once you've experienced it once, you know what that feeling is. To then make yourself go and sit back on the rower and test again, that's nothing to do with your physical. That is purely you're a psycho and you're like, I'm willing to do this.
Part of me is like,
yeah.
But then when it actually comes to doing it, every excuse in the book, I will do the longest warm up. Oh, I don't have time. It takes 6 minutes. 6 minutes something, Angus. I don't know.
Or you start even, because I've had this previously when I've been testing 2K row. You start, and some of my clients also the same, and you kind of, you're settling in. You like, okay, we've done 500 meters. Now we're getting to the business end, and it starts to hurt really about 800 meters in, and you've still got 1200 meters to go, and that 1200 down to 800. There's kind of like 400 meters in the middle. It's like, that's pretty dirty. And then it starts to just ramp up. If you can get to 500 meters to go, you're home and dry. You just have to hold on for everything you've got. But to get from 1200 down to 800 seems like such a minuscule amount of meters. But that's where the majority of people are bottling it, because it's so painful. And you've got like the expectation.
It's taking so long. Like the worst bit about that, and this is what I always found when I was like doing planks when I was younger, I discovered how bad planking was when you really go for it. Is like, you'll do the thing where you're like, I'm not going to look at the time. I'm not going to look at the distance. Not going to look at it. Okay, I've done enough stroke. I deserve one look. Okay, I've done 30 meters. Like,
literally,
it just doesn't move. The needle doesn't move.
In fact, let's talk about this. I did something, well, I was about to say really interesting. It's probably not interesting to anyone. I was doing some zone 2 training the other day, and I was bouncing between the C2 bike, the rower, and the ski erg. The C2 bike was like 5-ish minutes, just easy pace. That was my opportunity to drink water, do my thing, recover a little bit. And then it was 1K row, 1K ski on repeats. And what I did after my first maybe 2 efforts, I covered the monitor on the ski erg, and I wanted to see if I could get just intuitively 1K on the dot. Just from the feel of the strokes, counting the strokes, my breathing, my heart rate. I didn't have the clock on the wall, so I didn't know how long I'd been doing. And it's funny because I was skiing and I was counting my strokes. I was like, it feels like I've been doing this for a long time, like longer than like 4-ish minutes, 4.5 minutes, which is kind of the pace I was skiing at. Finished, pulled the t-shirt off, 1,025 meters.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's like the Paul Hollywood handshake.
Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty cool.
I was like, it's a really good challenge, and I'd like to see if other people had the intuition to be able to do those kind of distances, because it's like a TikTok trend or an Instagram trend where it's like, see if you can run 1K. Exactly. I don't know if you've seen people doing that.
I've seen people do like 5K runs.
And see if you can stop bang on
exactly on it. What was really annoying, I last year, so in my old job, a girl I used to work with is a rower. She's a great rower. And she had seen videos of me training with you and had been like, your rowing needs sorting out. So she was kind enough to actually come down.
Your coach must be useless.
She was kind enough to come down one day and like help me out with it a bit, help me out with the technique. And it was really good. And at the end I was like, okay, well, you're obviously a lot better at rowing than me, but can we play a game? I want to do the game where you cover the monitor and you have to get to 100 meters. Closest wins. And I was like, we'll do best of 3. First time, she was like, I've never done this before. This is great. 100 meters.
Yeah, wild.
Second time, I got 98. 100 meters she got.
Really?
Nailed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, go for 3 for 3. And she did it.
Wow. That is impressive.
It was so annoying.
I'd like to know, as someone who is a rower, if she was counting strokes or just intuitively she knew.
Her reaction said that she just stopped and it happened to be right. But I imagine that she deep down, because she rose so, I mean, she was most of the time when I was coming into work, and people don't realize this, goes on behind the scenes for people that are into like rowing and other sports like this, but she would come into work and I'd be like, oh, how are you? She'd be like, yeah, pretty tired. But you row this morning? Yeah. What did you have? Oh, we had 3 by 30 minutes on the rowing machine.
3x30, yeah, it's wild.
When you think about sitting on a rowing machine for 30 minutes, it's a long time.
Yeah.
I try not to do that.
Yeah.
But then doing three of them with a 5-minute rest in between.
Yeah.
You're doing 90 minutes.
It's really interesting because, and like, again, we can talk about this, and I'd love to talk about this for the whole day, but one of my clients, he goes to uni in the States, college in the States, and he was trying out for the college rowing team, and just looking at some of the tests that they've been doing and the intricacies around stroke rate and different sorts of things in power and speed and endurance. Like, it is wild, and there's so much importance and prestige held around the 2K. And if you can row 2K well, then you're probably making the first team 8. And like, some of the boys who are getting selected for that top team are like, no one is rowing slower than 6:15 over 2K. And
which,
like,
for people that haven't done one and don't have context, that is insanely quick.
Yeah, like ridiculous. And like, it's not unusual for people to be rowing sub 6:15. I think sub 6:15 is also like the standard. Like, if you want to be on Team GB, you have to have a 2K erg under that. Lots of them are getting close to 6 minutes. There'll be some of the really big boys who like go sub 6.
I've forgotten what the world record is. The world record is 5.
It's 5. I'd imagine it's probably somewhere in the 540s. It's like
Eddie Hall's brother that's got it.
I'd imagine it's a rowing specialist.
Okay.
There's a guy called Big Phil 90 on Instagram.
Oh, is he the guy?
Mate, he's my hero. If you don't follow Big Phil 90, also he does a load of like power output on the ski erg, and to get a sense of how big Phil is, he's like, he looks over the top of the ski erg when he grabs the handles.
Oh man!
And like, you're a tall guy.
Yeah.
And like, you're not. No, he's a monster.
But so this is the guy that basically tries to row with as low stroke rate as possible and just rips the handle out of the thing. Is that him?
I'm sure some of his training's like capped rate, because
I've seen a guy who managed to row under a 110 per 500 meter split with a stroke rate of under 20.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that could be him, but he is like a large man. Yeah. The bigger you are for that kind of thing, the better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But like, we go down the rabbit hole of then the world record for the marathon row. I don't want to be misquoted, but that is like a ridiculous pace. It's like 140 is probably average, maybe faster.
For a marathon ski, it's 142.
Horrible.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
And then you look at the technique of it though, and it looks far more like Nordic skiing, which is probably the scariest design.
It's got like his feet clipped in.
Yeah, none of this butterfly.
God, we need to talk about roller ski.
Well, what we need to do though is obviously what happens after a benchmark.
Yeah.
Is the training to actually improve, because it's all well and good doing a test this week, and then knowing you're gonna have to do it in the 8 weeks, you might as well make it worth it.
Mm-hmm.
When we were doing a 5K block where some of the other boys that I trained with were doing rowing machine, and you were basically leading this for us. I was doing the ski.
The glory days.
So I was doing the ski, and it varied in terms of what I noticed was going on. And you can confirm or deny whether that was going on, was on a weekly basis, we would do essentially 2 bits of homework, which would be 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And one of them would be, I would notice, would be like a higher intensity, shorter interval. And the other one would be a longer interval, not as long as the entire 5K, but a longer version of an interval, sort of 2K at a time, with a longer rest, but not necessarily as fast. And the interesting thing was that each week, the total volume was increasing. So that it basically, I was doing more of it, which I noticed was making my stroke on the ski way more smooth. And I felt, and the people that know a lot about those machines will think about the catch. Like when you're starting the flywheel spinning again, you start to time that better with the when you pull, and that is a huge thing. And I know now, if I got on a ski erg, I haven't been ski erging enough recently to feel comfortable in catching the catch moment every single time. Whereas when I was doing whatever it was, 3x2K, and then I think it was 8 by like 650 in the same week, I'm obviously doing so much there where I'm also thinking so much about getting my pace, that I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. I'm really being smooth.
It becomes so much more intuitive. And I think this is all what I'll say now is it's all very specific to that 2K block. But you'll have got a lot more out of that in like the first block you did, because your discrepancy in technique, you close the gap between like what your technique was originally to where you had nice technique, which was much more efficient. Whereas because you now have good technique on the ski erg, for you to make such a large improvement over 2K would be much harder. And the faster you get, obviously the same with anything, the harder it is to get those incremental gains. But what we were trying to do across those sessions, and like I say, this is specific to 2K, you probably have 3 different things you look at. You've got speed, endurance, and power. I think maybe over the course of 8 weeks, we did 2 power sessions where it was like, we worked in watts, and it was basically like 90% of your 10-second max output of watts, and you did that maybe 20 efforts. If you missed the target watts, you rested a whole extra effort before you re-go again. And it's like, that's like the probably the least important, but you do need to develop explosivity and power, especially over 2K, which sounds like a lot and a long time to sit on an erg, but it is actually like a relatively short distance. Probably.
Yeah, well, those power sessions as well, the 10 seconds. 10 seconds is nothing. The amount of time that I'm spending talking now is nearing 10 seconds. I've never
doing it
ever felt more sick.
Yeah.
Even though like most of the time I'm resting, the rest just went so quick.
Well, this comes back to like the 1 mile versus 5K.
Yeah.
And like the shorter you go doesn't necessarily mean it's easier. It's just like that explosive power and the energy system you use creates so much waste product, lactic acid, that your body just really struggles to remove it. And that's the sensations or the symptoms you get of that, is the feeling sick. But the majority of our time we spent on the 2K was between endurance and speed. So like a speed endurance session. I get in trouble for saying those words together. But speed endurance, and those were the things where we were doing closer to like, I'd say a total session, you're amounting a lot more distance than just 2K, but the efforts themselves were shorter. So you mentioned the 650. Another really classic session is like 10 by 500 off 1 minute, and trying to stay as consistent as possible across all of the 500s. I'm pretty sure we did that, or 8 to 10 efforts at 500. But similar like that, where we can develop speed, and we'd be using your average pace from the test minus X amount of seconds, probably 3 to 5 seconds. So you're actually rowing faster than test pace. And everything that we're doing is everything we're doing is trying to make the pacing feel more intuitive. So when you do come to retest, you have a little bit more feeling and like an inherent pace.
So this is a bit of a, I guess, confession. But when I have done work on the ergs, and that's that sort of focus where I'm looking over a period of time and I go, okay, that was what the benchmark is, or even I know I'm roughly around there because I haven't done my benchmark and I don't want to. I would quite like to be here. I think that is quite sensibly achievable. If I'm on an erg, I'd be like, I'm going to take, I mean, what we did for the ski with me last year was we wanted to take 3 seconds per 500 meters off. So 30 seconds over,
which is a big jump,
the 5K, which is quite a big jump. Please say I did it. But but
like a lot of that is attributed to your improvement in technique.
I will say that. Yeah. No doubt.
Just a caveat that.
But then when it comes to running,
and
I feel like a lot of people look at this in a different way. I don't know if you do, because you program it and you coach it, where you do your own 5K test, and you do your own 5K test, and then you would say, okay, I want to be 30 seconds quicker in 8 weeks. Whereas what I would get guilty of doing is I want my 5K time to be that. So I need to train, not necessarily at that pace, but I need to be training for that rather than I need to train this differential.
I think that's like the way that people's minds are wired, especially like people who are inherently competitive and want a certain time. It's like, there's certain benchmarks like sub 25K or a sub 3 hour marathon seems to be the big one at the moment, but it's really difficult and like a dangerous trap to go down, or like going sub 7 on a 2K row, for example, as a benchmark. What would be a more healthy outlook and probably a more effective way of training over time is going, hey, I want to improve on this block. 1 second improvement is an improvement. 5 seconds improvement is an improvement. A whole minute, but it's like just try and improve over the block. It's probably the best way to look at it, rather than having a target pace based off a time that you want to achieve. But I know it's really difficult to not reverse engineer that, where you go, I want to run 1850 over 5K. That's the speed I need to be able to run at. So here's the paces that I'm going to run at.
And what's your thoughts on essentially doing, let's say I did a 5K run, but rather than making it horrible for myself and saying I'm going to do a 5K test at max effort, what if I said I'm going to do a 5K test at a particular heart rate cap? So for me, let's say I start to cross into my zone 5 at like 165 BPM. So I could say I'm going to do a 5K, but I'm not going to allow myself to go above 165. I can sit at 165. If I go just above, I have to come back down.
Yeah.
And then I do my block and train against that. What's your thoughts on that versus doing a max effort as a benchmark and then training? And
it depends, because if you want to use heart rate data as your metric for the block, and this is something we discussed with Roscoe when he came on and we're discussing triathlon training and Ironman training, because a lot of that training is done in specific heart rate zones. If you want to work heart rate zones, then I think it's obviously you do your metric in a heart rate zone. I don't love it as much because it's not a true representation of your actual max ability. I'd much prefer you to just bury yourself in your test. That way we know we have like a true representation of your best effort on that day. And then we can still extrapolate heart rate data from that. But for running and erg work especially, I much prefer basing it off pacing.
I think that's fair as well, because as much as I would love to do the suggestion that I had, like, you have a shit night's sleep and your heart rate just doesn't respond in the same way. But the reason I ask is because I know there are certain high rocks athletes that will do full sims with a heart rate cap and compare those, because they then don't sabotage the rest of their training. But they can still compare the two.
Well, it just depends on what that session is designed for. Is it like, this is actually our benchmark testing? Because if they were going to do a benchmark test, for sure they're not doing that at a heart rate cap. But it is interesting to see. And like, heart rate data is so underused and like such a great tool for training. And one of a really fun benchmarks to do in your training as a test to see if you're making like tangible progress is an hour in zone 2 just running. And over time, as you get fitter, you'll be able to run faster at that same heart rate. That's your zone 2 capacity improving, your aerobic capacity improving. So maybe you start the block and over the hour you run 9 and a bit K, and your heart rate was still in zone 2, but by the end of 8 to 12 weeks worth of training, you can now run just over 10K or 11K, but with exactly the same heart rate. But like you say, so many factors influence your heart rate. So you've just got to have your environment the same as much as possible when you test and retest.
Yeah. Okay. Because, all of that points towards what we said we were doing in the first place, which was the high rock sim, to figure out, it's a way to test in that specific situation how your body's going to respond, and you can break it down. And that's one of the beauties of high rocks, is you have the set distances and you can take your splits away, you can work out. And if for example, I know one of my weaker things in my races has been lunges, I can do a block, not quite in the same way because it's not as aerobic, but I could do a block for lunges and I could check my time. Likewise, I could then have done that, go into this sim and see, okay, my lunges have improved, but actually what hasn't improved in my general fitness is my burpees. So we're going to have to do a bit more focus over the next 7 weeks before London on the burpees. And
that's how the majority of the training that we through ROX deliver for all of our clients is very specific towards actual blocks. And then there's so many elements that you need to improve. You need to be better, maybe strength with, let's use lunges as an example. You need to improve your unilateral strength, so single leg strength, all sorts of different ways of doing that. But then also you need to be able to improve your efficiency of the movement. You need to be able to improve your ability to handle the lunges under fatigue. Typically when we do that for our clients, give away some secrets, we'll typically do the compromise sessions, or I call them interference sessions, on the bike. So we're not adding excess loading and volume to like the impact on your joints, because you're running so much anyway in the week. And then we will have a test metric, whatever that session happens to be, some burpees or some lunges, and then something on the bike, X amount of times, X amount of rounds, and then we'll see if you can improve on that time over the course of 8 weeks. But if you're struggling in terms of understanding how to put that training together by yourself, or an effective training plan, that's when you need to jump on with a coach and discuss it with someone who has experience doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Plug ROXD.
And even if let's be sensible as well. Like if you have a coach or even if you don't, but you're looking at your program ahead of your races, or how you train ahead of your races, then I guarantee you every coach would love you to be able to do a full sim in some way without it costing you 120 quid to go to a different country and figure it all out there. So look forward to seeing you, basically. I think the pitch is pretty solid, and we actually we didn't necessarily do the whole benchmarking thing for that, but I think it is a really interesting point, and we're at that point in the season where, for Hyrox athletes anyway, it's kind of all kicking off in the UK next month.
Yeah, it's exciting.
But generally with other sports as well, like I've got a lot of friends that do things like rugby, and because the winter sports are coming back into play, even though they play rugby, and you wouldn't think necessarily they need to do their benchmarking. I know one of them is super keen on doing the aerobic benchmarking with a row. Yeah. Because he's a forward, he has to do a lot of leg drive, and he knows that he still has to use his upper body as well.
Well, lots of teams use, I don't know if you've heard of the Bronco, but it's a famous test in rugby where you're running, it's basically shuttles and intervals. And most rugby teams, whether it's the Bronco or something else, will have a metric to go, this is where your fitness is now. This is like match level fitness we need you to be at. If you're not at that, you're not going to get selected. And then you need to maintain that fitness across the season. Like every single sport has some sort of testing and metric.
Yeah. But we're going to move into...
We have to move on.
Charles actually this week put on his story.
Yeah.
I need grind my gears.
I did, yeah.
ASAP. So yeah, do you want to kick us off?
Now, off that story, I did post it up. So if you guys want to get involved ever in grind my gears, you can find us on social media and send some things in. But I'm going to start with one of my personal ones.
Okay.
Now, I forgot to say it last week. It was one of the ones I wanted to say last week because it's been on my mind for so long. But people not being able to move the cardio machines in the gym. Now, you laugh.
Yeah.
This tirelessly just destroys my soul every day I'm in the gym. Like I see someone move the C2 bike by the seat. Now, when you pull the seat up, there's no resistance on it. So you're like, okay, guys, we need to grab out a machine. Any machine, they go for the C2 bike. They approach from behind and they pull the seat straight up, and you that fucking jarring noise of it, like ticking all the way up. And they pull the seat out, and I'm like, but they never learn. Pull from the front, man. It's got wheels on the front, kickstand it in the front. Oh, mate, it's just... I could go on for... I'm trying to stay...
OGs that have known Charles for a while will know that he used to have a reel on his Instagram about how to move a fan bike. I'll be careful because I can't remember which type.
Yeah, it was an assault bike.
It was an assault bike. So yeah, you basically go around to the front, you put your foot on the front, you tip it up until it's on the wheels, and then you can push it. It's really easy to drive.
From the handles.
Yeah.
Which got reposted. Actually, it got shared again by Assault Fitness.
Did it?
To clarify that is the correct way to move it. And even so, I was getting trolled in the comments being like, that's going to break the handles. But even though Assault Fitness have gone, yeah, this guy is he clearly knows what he's doing. Move it from the... Yeah, so Echo bikes as well, assault bikes, people don't understand how to move them. People put the rowers away with the screen still up. People keep...
That one though, for me, I get that you can push the screens down on them, but like, it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Well, it depends if you're storing them against the wall, because if you roll them up against the wall and the screen's out, it just gets smashed into the wall. And then also one, which is less of a bugbearer, but people, when you store the rowers up, leave the handles still in the cradle.
That's quite normal.
Yeah,
because people think that's at home.
Yeah, for sure. And I understand that, but it's over time, if you keep the tension on the chain, you lose some tension. So it would just need to be serviced more frequently. So you just need to unhook that. That's a less of a bugbearer, but just the biggest. It's less of a grind gear. It's more of like just an ick. If I went to the gym and I saw someone and they couldn't move the machines, I'm like, you're done. Red flag.
We're not training partners anymore. See you later.
Yeah. We're not anything anymore. You are not in my life anymore. You're so done.
I'll come in with one of mine this week. So I actually, as some people will recall if they've got a good memory from the Roscoe episode, I was filming Roscoe do his Ironman this week. Shout out to Monday podcast. Absolutely smashed it. Quite a few of their boys were doing the 70.3 on the Sunday as well, which I wasn't there for. But in the Ironman, the three of them, Jay finished first of the three of them. I think he finished in like 10 hours 37. Wow. Joel,
that's awesome.
Joel finished 10:54, so also went
sub 11,
sub 11, and then Roscoe came over in 11:18,
which is also amazing.
Also, like, such a solid time.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that was really impressive though was, as much as Jay and Joel might have gone faster than Roscoe is the only one that ran a sub 4-hour marathon.
Did he?
Off the bike.
Oh, sweet.
Another thing that I will give them all credit for is, I think if they had done it at most other Ironmans, they would have gone significantly quicker, because the way that the course was set up, the transition zone was mental.
I did see some footage.
So
it was
there
gigantic,
were
right?
3,000 competitors.
Yeah.
And the way that the transition had been set up was, give or take, you get like between 0.5 meter and 1 meter per bike hanging up. So bear in mind, you have all the bikes, then you've got the bags, and then you've got actually getting out of the water. 3,000 bikes, 3 lanes. That means 1,000 bikes per lane.
Okay, fine.
Along this straight road. And if you say, yeah, let's call it 700 meters of just bikes. 700 meters of just bikes, and then you've got 100-ish, 150 meters of just bags.
Yeah.
And then you have to get out of the water and run the length of the beach. That's another 100, 200 meters. Each time they had to do transition, they were running more than a 1K.
Big rock zone.
And I can, yeah, big rock zone. I can vouch for that, because unfortunately,
you're filming.
I was filming, so I had to follow one of them through, run back, follow the next one through, run back, follow the next one through. But no, they all did really well. Lovely, lovely day for it. It was actually quite hot, so I don't know if that actually helped or not. He was quite well prepared, Roscoe, for his race, but when he came off the bike, he was covered in salt on his shorts, and I was like, you need more salt tabs. So yeah, he went out on the run, but smashed the 4-hour marathon target, which he had, and went under that. And yeah, they all did really well. But
yeah, what's your grind my gears?
Grind my gears.
Just shout out Roscoe.
For those of you that also remember that I somewhat fucked up Roscoe's filming at the T100 with the finish line, in that I wasn't there, which sucked. I made sure that I was there for this one. Obviously very important, arguably far more important, because it's an Ironman. And all was going swimmingly well. Unfortunately though, there was a bloke in front of Roscoe who crossed the line and decided to just hog the entirety of the camera space.
Perfect.
And I've actually started to realize that I've seen this happen quite a few times. People cross the line and the main character energy is so high that they just do anything. And as an example of this, was going on when Roscoe wasn't finishing as well. And I did still get the shot of Roscoe, but this guy is in it being a bit annoying. There was another bloke who crossed the line ahead of about 5 other people crossing the line.
Yeah.
Stood on the finish line.
No.
Which kind of blocked the finish line from anyone else finishing. Took his shoe off, put his shoe up to his head like it was a phone.
That's sick.
And pretended to call someone, right? And then that was it. Like,
no, that's hard.
I don't know if he was supposed to like put the phone down because he'd like broken his target or something. But
tell me he ran a really slow time.
I didn't even see his time, because the other 5 had followed through, so all their time went up. But then he was there for so long, and it was so awkward that the guys that, you know, every single person gets announced as so-and-so's name, you are an Ironman. So they were running through these 5 people, and he'd been there so long that they were like, nobody's calling, get out of the finish line. And I was like, good. You're such a mug.
Yeah, that's a frustrating one.
Another interesting thing about that whole situation, there's like 20 people that give out medals. There's not that many people finishing it.
No, yeah.
So I was thinking like, wow, they've slightly overstaffed for this.
Yeah.
But what goes on is, I didn't realize you get given your medal and you're chaperoned out of the finish area.
Oh, really?
So the person that gives you your medal
takes you out,
removes you.
Oh, wow.
And so that's why they need so many. Is there's just this constant cycle of moving people out, and it's partly because a lot of people will then collapse on the floor, and not start fueling straight away, and so they get taken into it.
Oh no, I would be if I would be so upset if I got the whole way to the end of my Ironman and crossed the line and I didn't get like a photo of me finishing the line, because
so many people missed it,
standing there with their alpha flower on their
ear. Literally there's so many people that missed out.
It was kind of funny.
Sad. Yeah, it was.
I now need like a post-race celebration.
Well, here you go.
I'm gonna do that. That's so good.
The Swansea.
I'm gonna do both shoots at the same time.
I'll be there with the camera, and I'm just not gonna take a single photo of you.
That's perfect.
If no one else gets one, you
force me to buy the official photos. That's perfect. That's perfect.
So yeah, that's my main one for this week.
Yeah, that's a good one. Should we keep going again?
Yeah.
This one's been sent in, and I'm going to keep them anonymous.
Okay.
It's staying on the theme of machines and ergs. People who jump on the ski erg.
This isn't a type
say
thing either.
yeah,
This is a technique thing. People
I don't need to say anything more than that. Just jumping on the gear that grinds my gears. I think that's more of, again, an ick than I think they're the same thing, aren't they, really? An ick and a grind my gear.
I had someone write in this week. This is London specific. So people that go to work with wheelie bags as their like work bag, which you said you'd not seen before.
I've not seen that.
I used to assume that was people like
Going on holiday.
Not necessarily on holiday, but maybe on a work trip, because they're still dressed smartly.
Yeah.
But then when I was working in this office in London, I did notice that some people would have these bags in work, and it would be every day. And I'd be like, okay, you're not traveling from somewhere. You are actually using this as a work.
But is this because they can't be bothered to carry a backpack or like a...
Yes, quite literally. And
wow. Okay.
That's just severely lazy.
Yeah.
To not be able to put something on your back. So yeah, no, I completely agree with that.
I mean, I haven't seen that, but no, I agree with that. I don't like laziness. The underlying thing though. This one can be. I don't know if I should say this. I don't like it when people don't tuck their shirts in when they're playing golf.
Oh, wait. Did you say this one was sent in?
No, this is me.
I have shirts which don't tuck.
No, it's golf course etiquette.
But, literally, they don't tuck. They're not long enough to tuck.
Get a longer one. Pull your trousers up high.
Yeah, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
We don't need to spend much longer on that one. I've got loads, but you go.
I was going to say, I've got one this week, which was from a girl called Millie, who is absolutely sick to death of the influencer trend, which is, unfortunately, I do love.
Yeah.
Because all of the things they love are the most generic things that everybody, well, not everybody, but the same type of people always love. So it's like, unfortunately, I do love having 3 matches a day. Unfortunately, I do love a 9 p.m. bed.
Yeah, no, that's not the one.
Stop using this trend, which is supposed to show things that you shouldn't be doing, as like, unfortunately, I'm super healthy. I'm amazing. Like,
it's like, you know when you go for a job interview and they're like, what's your biggest weakness? And you go like, oh, my biggest weakness is that I work too hard. I'm too popular.
Although, do you know what? Fuck off with that question.
Yeah.
I'm not exposing myself.
No, yeah. I'm going to lie either way.
Yeah, literally. I genuinely think I've said my best compromise for not giving a really cringe answer to that, but still like giving a cringe answer to that, is I'm not very good at recognizing when I should ask for help.
Yeah.
Basically saying, if you don't help me out, I could fuck everything up.
Yeah.
But I'm actually just really good, so I don't need help much.
Yeah.
Very often.
You should go back with that. Let me ask you the same question.
What would you say yours is? I need some inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. This one, again, not really fitness related, but adults who ride push scooters. You know, like a micro-light scooter.
Push scooters?
Like when you have something, not like the electric
ones.
Yeah,
no, that is quite funny. When I used to watch the Gadget Show when I was younger on Channel 5, and they used to do like the top scooters.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, God, that's so sick. Why don't people in London do that? Now, as a person in London, I completely
No self-respecting adult should ride a scooter. No self-respecting.
Well, electric scooters are okay, but still like,
I hate them as well. But this one's even worse. But like, actually. No, I can't do that one.
I'm going to go straight into the one. I saw this one yesterday. This is outrageous. I can't believe this hasn't come up before. Footwear. Footwear is important. Okay, I've seen people training in all sorts of footwear. I've actually seen people training barefoot in a gym, and I would argue that what I'm about to bring up is worse than training barefoot in a gym.
It's worse.
The shoes which have the toes, and like you immediately know what I'm talking about. I don't know if they're supposed to be climbing shoes or something. I think they're called like naked.
They're like barefoot shoes, which we've spoken about before.
But have we?
Yeah. Oh, that's been one of my grandma gears.
But the worst thing is, if you're gonna wear them, don't get them in luminous green. I cannot believe I saw luminous green.
No.
Toe-hugging shoes.
They're the worst.
Yeah, don't ever.
So
if you turn up to the... Actually, that's a requirement. I might slip that in the terms and conditions. If you turn up to the sim in those, go home. Not allowed.
No refund.
Deemed not safe.
No refund. Yeah, exactly. Deemed not safe. I love that. I had a separate message, and then I had someone message in on my questions box the same thing. But this one, I'll keep them anonymous as well. Everyone thinking they can run a sub 3 hour marathon, then failing and making up an excuse, which I feel is pretty relevant now off the back of Berlin Marathon. And then someone else messaged in saying influencers making sub 3 hour marathon their personality and then failing. But he was saying it is like, it actually makes me feel quite happy when they do that because they've literally made it their personality and then they've failed.
Don't get me wrong. I love seeing a success story. I love seeing someone break sub 3, but
Like Harry Styles.
Harry Styles,
guy. Yeah,
that was something we need to talk about.
Black long sleeve shirt in 25-degree heat as well.
So hard.
The guy is the goat.
You know you're quick if you're doing that.
The guy's the goat.
But then, one thing, isn't Berlin the fastest major?
Yeah.
So
it is a good course, but it was really hot. So like that's why I'm a little bit more sympathetic from this weekend if you didn't hit your target because it was just crazy hot, like freak hot. But
Well, I was also going to say one of my favorite, in a narcissistic way, one of my favorite things is when I see a reel that is episode 1 of the sub 3-hour marathon journey, because I'm like, this thing is going to go on for so long.
Oh God, years and years. Yeah. What else can I say? I think that's probably it from the ones I've got from the writing in. I've got another personal one, but it's a bit long-winded, so maybe we save that one for next week.
Okay. I've gone through that thing again where there's been a bunch of things that have annoyed me and I've not written them down because I was so
and now you can't remember.
No, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So if you are that person, then make sure you are writing them down and send them in to us when you get
just as soon as you see them.
As soon as you think of it, use us as your note page.
Yeah, message them.
Yeah,
message them.
Because we love bringing them up. We love discussing them. I think that is one of the best parts of our podcast, to be honest. So please do keep interacting. Now this week I have terrible news. The food section that we were enjoying bringing in has not been sustained for this week, nor has the appearance of Pod Dog. In fact, he's been quite naughty this morning. I won't go into that, but he's currently locked out. So without those 2 missing parts, we're going to have to scoot on.
Dive straight in.
We're going to dive straight into the ROXD game, which this week I have brought along. Now, if you're watching this, you might have a slightly better experience because you get to see what we're thinking of before we come up with them. So you get to laugh at us being stupid. If you don't, you can play along literally with us.
Yeah.
So you are going to be as clued up as we are. Now, the aim of the game is to think of what the other person is thinking. So the way this works is there is a category. The first category, so you can understand with a bit of context, is something found in a commercial gym. And when I say commercial gym, I'm talking like a pure gym, the gym, all of those similar. So what we've then both done is we've written 3 things down and you're going to ask yes or no questions.
This could be a nightmare, couldn't it?
Yeah, this could go so badly for us. But you're basically trying to guess the other person's 3 things before they get yours. And we take it in turns. So we'll basically just get into it. If you still can't understand from what I've said, you're going to figure it out pretty quickly. If you can figure out what our things are on the list, if you can figure out what our things are before we do, then let us know in the comments. But also, if you would have had better niche ideas, put them in the comments as well. So yeah, round 1, you can ask me a question, yes or no first. Things found in a commercial gym.
Is it a piece of equipment?
No.
Wait, do we have to go in order, or it's just like I can just ask questions that could check off any 3?
Any 3.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So is there a piece of equipment in there? Oh, wow. Okay, cool. That's throwing me already.
Yeah. Is there a piece of equipment in your list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a person?
Yes.
Or like a type of person?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it a cable machine?
It's not, no.
Sorry, is there a cable machine?
Is it like a piece of clothing?
No.
Okay.
Is this for upper body?
Can be.
Oh, okay.
Can be. Okay, I'm diving in and make a guess. Is it a bodybuilder?
No.
Oh. We're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah, we're only doing 3 rounds of this, but it could take a whole hour. Okay, so it could be used for either. Is this a squat rack?
No. Is it someone who's training for high rocks and takes up loads of equipment and all the space?
No, I've not gone that niche.
All right.
Is it a free weight?
No.
Okay.
God, there's too many things to even consider guessing. So
I might go down another path for a bit.
There's a type of person who I might expect to find. And are they all people, or just one of your
Oh no, just one of them.
Oh, that can be my question.
Okay. Have you got? Is all of your stuff equipment?
I'm gonna say no,
Okay.
but it could be also yes.
Okay. Great.
It's just
That's gonna make sense when I eventually get it.
it might not.
Okay.
Is it a type of? Is it food?
No.
Oh,
Can I hold something on your list in one hand?
yeah.
Okay.
Is one of them like that? It's an object, or it's like a type of behavior or something, or is that all objects?
They're not all objects. There is, I would say, one kind of two objects in this.
I need to think about the gym as a whole. So that's like a culture thing, a gym culture thing.
What's in a gym? You walk in a gym, what did you see?
Gym leggings.
No.
Oh, they.
Kind of.
Yeah, you said there were no clothes.
Yeah, so I said no clothes.
That's the first thing that Charles sees.
Is one of your things a resistance band?
It is, yeah.
Yes.
How have you got that? I gave you too much. I gave you way too much.
You didn't. I actually had that in my head 2 rounds ago.
I gave you too much. All right, so you've got one.
I've got one.
I'm really struggling here. The changing room. Give me it. That response. Give me it.
Okay, I'm going to give you disabled toilet.
Oh. What? How? That's too niche. Okay, disabled toilet. Fine.
I thought you'd be like toilet, and then I could be like, yeah.
Okay, I'm taking changing room.
Have you got anything that on your list that could kill you if you used wrong?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
You might disagree with me when you find out what it is.
Okay.
I'm gonna say personal trainer.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You wrote like creepy personal trainer or something, didn't you?
I nearly did that, but then I thought that would go down poorly, so I wrote personal trainer / cleaner.
Okay.
Because that's what they do, and they pay rent by cleaning. So
2-1.
2-1.
The boys, who'd have thought it?
Okay. I'm so clueless with your one. A bench.
No. So that's what I was going to say, like a sofa or a chair.
Okay. No.
Is that close?
No.
All right.
I would say every single commercial gym I have been to has this, and it's one of the first things you see.
I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. This for sure is it.
I am going to say, have you got like lifting straps on there?
I might have to give you that.
Okay.
I put lifting gloves.
Yeah. You gotta give it.
Lifting straps far more acceptable than lifting gloves.
Yeah, true.
Okay, yeah, you can have that.
Cool.
You gave me disabled toilet.
Yeah.
Water fountain.
No. But
Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
I've got it.
Okay. Shit. I've kind of got one more, but I have no idea what this is now.
You're gonna kick yourself. The listeners have got it. They already know.
A speaker.
No.
Oh,
Vending machine.
no.
Charles, come on.
This is what I mean. I think this is actually going to be like the biggest kick yourself thing that you could think of. Every single one of these.
This is something like super niche, which is like dumb and like.
Oh, well, you've got.
No, that you've got.
No.
Oh.
It's not super niche at all.
I for sure had it with vending machine.
Well, you didn't.
And water fountain. You've changed it.
I haven't. Okay. So wait. Is this heavier than 1 kilogram?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your final one a door?
No. Is yours a weight plate?
No. We're just going Hail Mary now.
There we are.
Okay, so you don't use it to exercise, but you're active with this object.
Yeah, like you can't really not use it. It's just there. As soon as you notice it, you've used it. That's way too much. I've given you it.
No, you haven't.
I have. Once you know what it is, that
It's all of yours toilet themed.
No, but you
Okay.
you could go to the toilet.
In it.
No,
On it.
you could there's probably one in the toilet.
Last guess.
Last guesses.
You're gonna kick yourself as well. Because it's so specific to the podcast.
It's so specific to the podcast. That's so annoying. Is it a Bosu ball?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I win. That's great. I win that round.
That doesn't count.
What do you mean?
I gave you that.
I've literally given you yours. You get one more guess. You're gonna kick yourself more than me.
No, it's something dumb like a doormat.
No, it's not.
What is it?
A mirror.
Shut up. I don't train in gyms with mirrors.
I said it's a commercial gym.
I know, but I don't
Every
think like
single
that.
commercial gym has a mirror.
I don't
Well
go
done
to
to
gyms.
all of the listeners that got that straight away.
Yeah, obviously, because they're watching on YouTube and it's written in front of them.
Okay. So we're going to move on to more of our style. Okay, we're going to do another round. It's going to be more our style. If this is the first round you're hearing, we got rid of the first round. So scam fitness products.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, you ask away first.
It's creatine gummies.
No.
Oh.
That's not scam. What are you talking about? No, I haven't put that. Have you got creatine gummies down?
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Okay, great. Cool. So 1-0.
Is it, you wear it? It's wearable.
I have
I think I've,
things that you wear.
okay, cool.
Have you got anything you wear?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this, I can't remember what it's called, but is it the one where it's like the cooling headband?
No.
Gutted. No. I thought those were two shoo-ins for me.
No.
Shit.
Okay. Would I wear this on my upper body? Would I wear one of the things on anything on my upper body?
Yeah.
Okay.
God, it's niche. I have told you about it though before, so that's my only saving grace, but it's super niche. It used to be like no, I can't say that. Is any of yours edible?
Can I say consumable? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Like
so
you're
drink
supposed to. Yeah, you could drink it, maybe.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, like you're supposed to consume it. That's its purpose.
All right.
What
does that mean?
I just didn't want to say you could eat it.
Riddle me this.
Me for what it is. Okay.
So it's a fluid.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I've got it. Does
this particular wearable thing go on your wrist?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it like Athletic Greens?
Yeah.
Is it?
This week's sponsor is, I'm joking, absolutely not going to happen. AG1 Athletic Greens.
I got it.
Yeah. I have been sent some, and I stand by the fact that forcing green shit down you in the morning that doesn't taste very nice is not good for you. It's like doing a 2K test.
Mentally not good for you.
You do it once and you realize how bad it is and you never want to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to guess then. Actually, one more question before I guess. Did this come out recently?
No.
Okay, I think I know what it is.
Oh, God. Okay. So I've got one.
Mm-hmm. I've got one as well, right?
Yeah. You got creatine gummies.
Yeah.
Which I just gave you.
Yeah, thanks.
That was the dumbest thing. You've got any others there that are consumable?
No.
Okay.
Have you got like one of those bands that helps you balance better? Okay, sit.
The power balance wristband.
Yeah.
You know the thing I'm talking about?
The thing you're talking about.
Oh, the rave when you were like 13.
I'm pissed off at my mum because she
wouldn't buy you one.
She wouldn't let me buy one off the website. I got one from eBay and it didn't work because it was fake.
That's such a good story because that is exactly what happened with me as well. Like, ridiculous that is exactly the same thing that happened to me. With a little hologram in it.
Yeah.
I'm for
sure. Like, this is a fake hologram. I've watched the YouTube video. Mum, this is fake. Like, I can't believe we spent £15 on this. Should have just spent £30 on the real one.
On the real one?
Yeah.
That's why I've never made it as an elite
the YouTube
sportsman.
video. Like, he's got perfect balance when he wears this. It's definitely nothing to do with the fact that his friend is pulling his arm downwards, not outwards.
I was just like, that is for sure why I never made it.
Yeah.
Because I got the fake one.
All the England cricket players were wearing them. I was like, I would literally be an England cricket player.
And there was the other one which was like two material loops.
Oh, that one was bollocks. Yeah, that was obviously bollocks.
That wasn't
Didn't look cool.
Yeah, that wasn't cool. What colour did you have?
Blue.
Really? I had a yellow one.
Did you go like the luminescent green yellow?
No, just like the yellow.
Oh, it's dead. Red and blue is the
All
coolest.
the like the NBA players were wearing them as well.
Yeah.
I think some of them still
I don't
endorse
know
it.
how it happened. They exploded overnight and then dissolved so fast. But you used to be able to buy them on EasyJet.
I'm gonna buy one.
What do you wear then?
That's so sick.
That would be sick.
I'm gonna get
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm so doing that. We're bringing it back.
That's so funny. I've lost all train of thought. They're not. I had a question as well. I had a good question. So they're not consumable now. Oh, is it nylon plated shoes?
No.
I
will give you a clue. One of these things, actually both of these things we've spoken about on the podcast.
Okay, that would have been clutch. My one is niche now.
Okay, niche. Is this?
This is like a true scam. True scam.
True
like
scam.
Fire Festival level scam.
Oh, crazy.
In my opinion, I might have to forfeit. I feel the time pressure of the listeners as well.
Yeah, same. Sorry, guys.
But we're going to continue.
I'm going to, we'll do one more guess then.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got 2 right now.
Yeah.
So I can clean up. Okay. This is obviously the biggest scam ever. And it is a subscription service to something shit.
No.
What is it?
A Zempic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I would never have got that.
No, but that's a good. Yeah. That's like an actual fitness scam.
Do you want to have one more guess to get either of these?
Can I have a question and a guess?
Yeah.
So you wear it around your wrist.
One of them, yeah.
Is it also the power balance band? Is it?
Yeah, it's, I had that down. Yeah, literally wrote power balance band.
That's so good. We have to wear that.
As a result, then, do you want to have one more guess? Because then you could win now.
I have no idea.
This one appeared on the gimmicks.
There's only like 3 or 4 that I can remember, and we've already said like shake weight. Did I mention it as a gimmick? Oh no, gimmicky. No, I can't remember anything. My brain's gone dead.
Nose tape. You brought that. I think that was the first one you mentioned as well. I thought that was pretty much a shoe.
It's a tough day to be Charles.
Last round. We'll give this 10 guesses each. If you don't get one within, no, we'll say if you go 4 guesses without, you've lost.
Are we doing the sports person one?
Yes, we're going to do famous athletes.
Okay.
I'll ask first. Is yours famous in the UK?
Do you want me to? I'll say yes, and I'm going to give you another clue, just for the sake of everyone listening. It's World Championship athletics themed.
Okay.
So yes, one of them is famous in the UK.
Okay.
But they're all global superstars. Okay. So if you don't get all 3, it's kind of embarrassing.
Okay. Fair.
I'm just going to go straight in with a name drop.
Okay.
Famous sports people.
Yep.
I'm going to go for Tiger Woods.
No.
Perfect.
Good start. I want a little bit more clarification before I start throwing the Hail Marys in. Is this person still competing?
All of them.
All of them are? Oh, okay.
I'm just Hail Marying now.
Yeah.
I've given up.
Go for it.
Lewis Hamilton.
No. Josh Kerr.
No, good choice though. It's not Josh Kerr. Right. I need to be a bit more clinical then. Do we speak about them frequently on the podcast? Are they in like our examples bubble?
Not that often, actually.
Oh, great.
They should be.
Oh, really?
But not that often. Okay, I've
got 10 guesses to literally guess. It could be anyone in the world who does sport.
Literally. Okay, I had someone and they've... Oh, yeah, Alex Yee?
No.
Damn, I'm already scraping the barrel.
I've mentioned one of them already. I've mentioned 2 of them already in this podcast.
Have you?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Angus doesn't listen.
Yeah.
Are they... Do they all... No. Do they currently compete?
No. One of them does.
One of them. Okay.
Yeah. Keely Hodgkinson.
She's one of them, yes.
Yes.
Do they play team sports?
2 of them do.
2 of them. Cool. I've lost count of how many guesses I've had, but I think I'm like 5.
I think it was 5, yeah. So 5 more guesses. Okay, have you got, this isn't really yes or no, but like, have you got two of the same birth, sex, gender? Or like, this is a horrible way to ask this question in this day and age. Have you got a man and a woman? Have you got two women? Have you got two men?
I've got two men left.
Okay.
Two men left. So the team sport is one of the team sports football.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how you phrase that, but that was
all of yours famous in this country. Sorry, I did ask that, but
are they? Is that like? Are they British and famous,
Yeah.
or are they famous in this country?
Are they British and famous? Sorry.
No, neither of them are British.
Oh, okay.
But they're both like
That
very,
would
very
still be my
famous.
question. It's a bit different to what I said earlier.
Is it Cristiano Ronaldo?
No. American. Are either of them American?
Neither of them American.
Ooh.
Oh, you said they were retired. That was a dumb guess. Messi.
No.
Is he retired?
No.
Perfect.
That wasn't even dumb. Yes. Clarified it. Nailed it.
My knowledge on football is unrivaled.
Okay. Is one of them the person's name that I won't be able to pronounce, but ran the 3:36 100K?
Sabusio.
No.
No.
Oh, you haven't mentioned him in this podcast.
No.
Damn. Okay.
Dumb guess.
Dumb guy.
Can one of my questions be, what is the team sport of the other person?
Yes.
What is the team sport?
So you've got,
I've already got football.
yeah. The other one is basketball.
Cool.
Okay.
I've got like 2 guesses left for every single NBA player that I know.
You haven't got any of them actually.
No, I haven't. But I've narrowed down one of them is a team sport within football.
Yeah, and the other one is a team sport within basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm basically there.
Okay. You should be really, yeah. Okay, so I'm not really anywhere. They are.
We've already got
They're
one.
not British,
No,
and they do. I've forgotten if they do team sport or not.
they're all world champs athletes
So world champ. Oh,
for athletics.
for athletics.
So none of them are team.
I swear when we were doing this, I said please don't put world athletics champs people. 'Cause
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real nice.
Was that your
And they're
guess?
still competing.
Yeah.
They're still competing in the thing they do.
They're 2 of the most famous.
Oh,
2 of the most famous.
one of them wasn't Josh Kerr.
One of them is like the most iconic of their sport ever. Yeah. It's tough.
Damn.
But it's like, if you're into athletics, you obviously know that.
I probably do know who they are.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to pass then.
No, you already asked a question.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
I'm going to go LeBron James.
Correct.
Gosh.
Okay. I think I've got like one more guess,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna pass.
No, you just put someone out there. Come on. You know some athletes.
Oh, okay. I don't think if you said
I
this
talk
person
about
is the
them
most iconic.
like arguably too
No,
much.
you haven't said this person today.
No, I have. And I mentioned them in the last podcast as well. In the game.
No, the person I'm gonna guess you haven't said.
All right. Well,
I'm
then
gonna guess anyway
that's a
because
terrible
I'm not
one.
allowed to pass. Shakari Richardson.
No, but that was a good guess.
Yeah.
That was a good guess. No. So I've got one more guess.
Got one more guess. If you get
For
this,
football, I've got to go.
yeah. I mean, it would be one hell of a Hail Mary if you went for the other one.
Yeah. Football retired. Can I have a question and then guess?
Go for it.
Are they British?
Yeah.
Bosh. And they're retired. And they're famous. David Beckham.
Spot on.
He had to. LeBron and David Beckham. They want to have
Well, you've done it. You've done twice in a row. I'll give you a shot at the Hail Mary win. Final 3 questions. You can ask a question as well.
Okay. Are they female?
Yeah.
Serena Williams.
No.
Did I already ask if it was tennis? I can't remember.
No.
Who was it?
Jessica Ennis-Hill.
Oh, that's big. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
So
I
I
don't
had
not get.
Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
Oh, for some reason, I just continuously thought about English people.
Yeah, and you asked. I was like, they're not.
No, and I sometimes remember, sometimes not.
And then this one is the one.
Said is the American. You said no, and I guess Shakari Richardson. Great.
Yeah, I didn't even put two and two together. The last one was Mondo Duplantis, who's the most GOAT pole vaulter of all time.
You've definitely not said his name in this.
No.
Oh,
but I said Keely and Jakob, and I said Jakob and I talk about Jakob Ingebrigtsen so frequently. Yeah, Mondo Duplantis, who
interesting actually,
has the world record in the pole vault.
Jakob Ingebrigtsen, based off the discussion we had last episode. If you haven't listened to last episode, you talk about some of the best documentaries that there are for out there. Jakob Ingebrigtsen's family have a documentary that followed their whole family through training. Was it him or was it someone else?
Because there's all three of the brothers.
So it was, and the whole thing was incredibly toxic. Oh, don't know if you know about this. Lawsuit going.
Really?
Yeah, lawsuit against his dad.
Because I did know that. I did know that because he coaches now another Norwegian youngster. I don't know the details, so I won't comment on it. But yeah, they all used to be coached by him.
Yeah, and it was savage.
Yeah,
and it got a bit too savage.
But it's interesting because there's so many good Scandinavian athletes coming through now.
Yeah.
And there's and even in the Ironman, did you see that? Was it 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3 in the world champs. Yeah.
Incredible. And they've kind of adopted the double threshold days, which is similar to what Jakob Ingebrigtsen does when he trains. But yeah, they're an interesting family, and he's an interesting guy to follow on Instagram as well with his training, but he's been a bit injured this season, so didn't make it to the 1500 meter final. Think he made it to the 5000 meter final. But yeah, won't comment on the results on that either.
Yeah. Well, we've wrapped up another episode. The game seemed fantastic in preparation. We might not do that one again. If you guys enjoyed it, let us know though, because we'll obviously bring it back and we'll just do better categories. Or if you've got people that you would want us to guess and we can randomize who's guessing who, then we can do that. We can make sure there's a third party adjudicator for it. However, for all of your inputs with Grind My Gears, with suggested topics, if you want us to talk about something in particular, whether that's from a coaching perspective, whether that's just to gossip and have our opinions on things, let us know, get in touch. Either put it in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or head to @mindsets_podcast on all socials and shoot a message, drop a comment on one of the posts. And if you can do us the finest solid in sharing it, whether that's to your story on there, or even, because I've mentioned this before as well, you can now repost. So you can force it on your friends. That would be great. We're here for that. And yeah, we've obviously got things coming up like the sim that we've got coming, but that could also be a gateway into more opportunities for you guys to come and get involved in other events that we do. So thank you very much to you guys for listening. Charles, is there anything else from you?
Good way to round it up, I think.
Awesome. In which case, we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. We'll have one more episode before the sim, I believe. I think that's how maths works, and not proven on the last game. So make sure you're subscribed and ready for that one, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.